And actually, kind of, if you don't mind sharing where Chloetry Plans, your handle kind of came from.
Of course. So, hi everyone. I am Chloe from Chloetry Plans. I am tuning in or facilitating this workshop from Illinois and more specifically the south suburbs of Illinois. So, I'm really close of Chicago, I should say. So, I'm really close to Chicago, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes south of Chicago. And so that's where I'm tuning in from. That being said, the name Chloetry comes from my love for writing. I went to college and got a degree in education and English. And so goes without saying, I'm a poet. I love poetry. And so as a teen, I put Chloe and poetry together, and that's where Chloetry was born. And when I switched over to, I used to have a blog where I did poetry. And when I switched that blog over to planning, I didn't want to drop the Chloetry, even though I was no longer writing on that blog. I really just wanted to keep that part with me because I'm always going to be a writer and planning my dreams is always going to be connected to those beginnings as a writer. So Poetry Plans, that's where it comes from. My creative name that I just decided to keep with me no matter what I'm doing creatively.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing with us. It's so cute. It's got a little ring to it as well. So Chloe, if you just like want to go ahead and get yourself set up,
Okay.
and then I'll come and say hello to our friends here in the chat really quickly. We have Stephanie from Houston. Hi, Stephanie. Vicky from Colorado. Chandra from Georgia. First timer, Nancy from Fort Wayne, Illinois. Hi, Ariana from Illinois. We have Tamisha from Chicago, Christine from PA. I'm originally from PA as well. Hello, Victoria from Reno, Nevada. Cool. Amy from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we have Jennifer from LA. Cool. Hi, Adriana from North Carolina. And Kiki from New Jersey. Hello and welcome. Yes, so happy to have you. So right before Chloe gets started, I do want to go over just a little bit more things. This is a live recording. So in case anyone isn't here, we can catch this live on a replay over the weekend. Hopefully by tomorrow, but definitely by the weekend. And also there is going to be a live Q&A session at the end of this live. So you can, for right now, we're all going to be like muted. And then at the end of the chat or at the end of the workshop, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And the way that you unmute yourself is you tap that little heart button. It looks like this. You tap that. I'm going to demonstrate for you. And it's a literal raise your hand gesture. It says recognize hand gesture. So you tap that and then you'll see on my screen, there's a little hand. And then we'll call on you and then you can unmute yourself. So that's how that works. And yeah, if you have any questions throughout the live, though, definitely put them in the chat function because Chloe could answer them throughout. If you, even at the end of the live, you just want to come in and say hello, like unmute yourself and kind of chit chat with us as well, that is more than welcome. And yeah, I'm excited to get started. Let me know if you're all excited. I know I am. Alrighty, I think I covered everything. Okay, so yeah, looks like I did. Okay, Chloe, take it away.
Let's get started. So, just to show you what materials I have, it's the teacher in me. I have to talk about materials here. So, we have the Bookworm Volume 5 washi box set. We also have the Bookworm Volume 5 hand-drawn sticker book from Rongrong, of course. And then I had to update my planner, y'all. I had to do a planner refresh. And with my DIY Rongrong planner, I went ahead and changed my cover to the Bookworm 5 cover because this cover and dividers, they were just calling out to me. So I went ahead and switched over. I was in my Parisian vibe, okay, before with the Coffee Queen, but I switched over to this one and I'm loving it. So I went ahead and decided to plan in this planner for the workshop because I think this is a great place to go ahead and get started with your routine. And we're going to talk about consistency, of course. So, getting into that, I wanted to create a dashboard and kind of help everyone brainstorm and come up with ideas for how to create a solid routine. And the way that I like to break up my routines is by creating an AM routine and a PM routine. And that could look differently for everyone here, right? We all have different schedules and lives and responsibilities. So it's important to keep things very simple because I don't know about you all, but I'm busy. And so I want to make sure that I'm not being unrealistic about my goals and about my plans, right? Because we can fill up a planner all day long for the looks, right? But if we're not actually going to be committed because we've kind of over planned ourselves, then it's not helpful. And then we end up being disappointed. So we want to make sure we keep that motivation and momentum going by keeping things simple. And that is going to be a theme that I keep referring back to in this workshop. Okay. So getting started, I'm going to take the dashboard page here in the Rongrong planner. But let's say you have a different planner or you have a blank piece of paper or using a digital planner or using dot grid or grid paper. It really doesn't matter. You can truly take any layout and kind of transform it here. So if I were you, I go ahead and at the very least do a vertical line down because I'm going to break this up in AM and PM. So go ahead and grab your paper, your planner, whatever it is that you're using, and let's get started. So I have full flip throughs of this, of course, on my page and on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to do a quick little, peruse there so you can see all the beautiful greatness of this sticker book. But getting into the letter page. Now, if you don't have these letters or stickers that are similar, don't worry. You can just write this on in your planner. I'm all about using what you have where you are. Okay. So no panic needed. We can grab these stickers later. But for now, for the workshop, I'd go ahead and just start writing. So a little trick I learned early in my planning days was that instead of starting from left to right, if you have a hard time measuring things up, I like to start with the two middle letters or the middle letter. And that helps me to be able to keep things centered because I have a really hard time going from left to right and keeping things centered. It's just not my strong suit. And I got to know how to work smarter, not harder. So I'm going to take a couple of these. And oh, and I'm also going to remove all my letters at one time because I don't know about you, but I just want to remove them all at once. So I'm going to start with all my letters at once and just kind of like putting them. Now you can put anything here that you want. You don't have to put routines. You can put get it done. You can put motivation. You can put, Chloe's planner. You can put Chloe's being consistent. You can put consistency. Whatever moves you, you can put in this part of your planner. And I have tweezers here as well. If you're like, what kind of little crafty tool do you have? I have tweezers. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't, but I like to have them handy just in case. And some are just easy to pick up with my fingers, so I do it that way. So now that I have my word that I want to use, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the T and the I, because those are the two middle-like letters. And I am gonna use my tweezers here because it's just gonna make it easier for me to kind of get into it. Now, for me, I like to decorate first before I start writing because I just get excited, but I make sure to use a lot of blank space. Leave a lot of blank space is what I was trying to say. So when I leave a lot of blank space, it makes sure that I have plenty of room to write what I want to write. But I want to get these letters out of the way, honestly, y'all, because I was a little nervous. Because sometimes when it comes to placing these small stickers, I'm like, am I doing this right? What do I got going on? So as you can see, I'm just kind of placing them and trying to space them. And of course, these stickers, they are not permanent. They come up pretty good. I wouldn't like rip them haphazardly, but if you misplace a sticker with wrong stickers, they're great quality. So I have removed plenty of wrong stickers without tearing them. So now that we have routines here, I'm going to go ahead and grab some decorative items, okay? So I want to use my Rongrong washi tape, the real thick one. I like my washi thick, okay? And I'm going to use the thick washi tape here. And again, you can use any washi tape you have at home. It doesn't have to be this one. And to make things easier, if you're a disc bound person, you already know I'm already late in the game with this. I'm gonna take this page on out, okay? If you have a disc bound planner, if you have a notebook that's disc bound, that one of the benefits is being able to take that page all the way out of your planner so that you can have all the space and elbow room you need. So now I'm going to take the washi tape and just kind of give it a nice rip here. And this is a little trick that I learned to kind of keep all the washi together. I'm going to kind of measure with my eyes here. And I'm going to go about here. If that makes sense. Okay. And then because I want the weight of the washi roll to kind of help me out, I'm going to start ripping it diagonally. So you got that right. And I'm just kind of like freestyling. There is no wrong way to do it. Just kind of freestyling across here to try to create a nice tear all the way down. Here we go. And I want it to like consistently go this way. And of course, I want it to get smaller at the end. Now, I'm not the washi police, right? So you can do this however you see fit. Whatever works best for you is how you should do that. But this is what works for me. And so it gives it that like fun vintage kind of look there. And again, I'm not perfect, so it's okay if it doesn't line up exact for me. But if you want to like play around with it, get it exactly how you want it, there is nothing wrong with that. And with this washi tape, I really do just rip everything, y'all. So I'm just gonna rip that right on off. And so now we created this little fun effect here. Okay. So now that I've ripped it, oh, cheat code. Rongrong already makes stickers that look ripped. Okay. So if this isn't your style, if you don't like getting all DIY, get a sticker book. Get a sticker book, and then you don't have to worry about layering or doing any of this because she does it for you, which is what I love about the sticker books. So now that I have that there, I'm going to flip through and kind of find a few stickers to, I would say, like border this with, right? So I really want to find my girls and my boxes. So that's usually what I'm looking for at this point, my girls and my boxes. So I always say with wrong stickers, I'm like, oh, where are my girls? Because that's what I call the girls in the sticker books. I'm like, where are my girls? I love them. It just is something about having just different types of women, different girls. Representation is pretty cool. And so I love that. I'm gonna put her there. And then I think I want an umbrella on this other side. I feel like that would be fun. And so this is the fun part for me, is just kind of finding a good place for all of the stickers. You know what? I'm gonna save that one because I want to do a border at the top as well. I'm thinking a stack of books would be cute, right? Let's get this book stack here. And what I love about this spread is we're not going to take too long with the stickers, but I gotta have a few. And of course, we have lots of fun quotes here. So that's another fun thing about keeping things simple in our planners, is that we don't have to worry about filling up with a lot of writing if you don't have a lot of time, as long as you have it where you're ready to fill it up with stickers, all that blank space. So we have our little couch chair here, okay? And then we have our little, I would say this is like a night table, side table. And I'm just gonna do a little overlapping there because I just thought it was cute. Bottom. And then I'm going to use a little washi tape at the top as well. So this is more PET tape. I actually love this. Like, it's basically like transparent, I would say transparent washi tape, basically, right? I'll let Rongrong correct me on that. But transparent washi tape is kind of what it reminds me of. It's PET tape, but I love that it's just like that continuous strip there. And so I'm going to use that to kind of create a little border at the top because I feel like that's just a cute little area to do that. And this one I will need scissors for, and I have them to the side of me. So I'm just gonna grab those.
Zachary doesn't usually eat Ziti the second day, so I'm doing like the last two.
All right, and now that I have that there, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little washi tape, okay? And this washi tape is the thin one from this
You're rubbing
washi
them.
box
So you're
set.
getting whatever.
We got a little unmuting there. Doesn't that remind you all of COVID times? Remember when we used to be, you gotta mute. I'm unmuted. I'm muted. The good old days, not really, but the good old days of the Zoom, of being on Zoom for work and school and everything else, right? We love those. reminders. All right, so I'm gonna just cut here. And you all know, if you're a washi professional, you can use just like a straight edge to cut your washi. And so now I've kind of created this border where I have space at the top and at the bottom. And I'm going to go in with my routines. Okay. Are y'all ready for routines? Because I am. I want to talk more about consistency and what that looks like for me and how it could possibly maybe look for you. Okay. So when it comes to consistency, I have grown my platform, Chloetry Plans, by showing up every single week for social media, for my blog, for my email list, for my YouTube channel. And that did not happen overnight. It happened with a lot of different routines and habits that built up into a successful platform. And so my goal initially was just to share my planner with anyone who wanted to look at it. And that was my goal, right? So I wanted to share my planner with everyone who would watch it. And so in order to do that, I needed to make sure I was taking pictures of my planner, taking videos of my planner, and trying to be consistent with that. My very first YouTube video was at the worst angle ever, and you can actually still find it on my YouTube channel because I keep it there, but it is the worst. I mean, it's the worst quality ever, y'all. It's just not great. But I showed up, right? And so that is where it got started. And honestly, that video, it has more likes and views than a lot of my other videos because people are just excited to see someone showing up and doing what they love. And that is what I want to encourage you all to do is just show up. And so showing up for yourself might look different on different days. And so that's why I kind of want to create AM and PM because for me, it's really motivating if I don't do my AM routine to kind of still do something in the evening or in the afternoon or on my lunch break to kind of still motivate myself. So I'm going to go ahead and write on this side AM routine and on this side PM routine. And in order to do that, I think I want a little bit of razzle dazzle here. So I'm going to grab a highlighter. And I don't know about you all, but whenever I use a highlighter, I need to do a test swatch because sometimes you think the highlighter is going to be one color and it's a different color and it's not what you expected. So I'm going to just do a little swatch on the side here. And I think I got like a pretty blue that I'm going to use. So I'm going to take that pretty blue and I'm just going to create like a little, it's not a cloud, but it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a squiggle. Okay. You can do this however you want in your planner, of course. Okay, and I'm going to do one on that side. And it just kind of creates a little spot for me to write in to kind of keep me in line. And then here, I'm going to write some of the things that I'd like to have in my routine. And this is time for us to brainstorm, okay? We're going to brainstorm now. So this is our little brainstorm section. And I'm actually going to write brainstorm there to kind of remind us what this section is. So in your notebook or planner or whatever you're using, you can kind of write it too. So I'm just going to write with my Rongrong pen here, brainstorm. Okay. I'm going to do brainstorm for routines. In this section, this is where I'm going to put what I want to do. Okay. We're talking about consistency, but what do you want to be consistent with? So the first thing is I definitely want to be consistent with exercise. Okay. That is something that is just not second nature to me. I have to work at it. So I'm going to put in the first little dot here, exercise. Some kind of daily movement is my goal, right? The next thing I'm going to put is eating. I know, sounds crazy, but just like meal planning, meal prepping, those kind of things. So I'll put meal planning because I think planning my meals for the next day should be a part of my daily routine. Now, there may be things that are not part of your daily routine. So for example, exercise, you might want to have a goal to exercise 3 times a week. And in that case, it may not be daily. So don't worry, we're going to have time for daily stuff on this side as well. So if you want to just write everything here and then we'll switch over, we're going to have our weekly routine on this side, then you'll be able to kind of focus on that. So we'll get there is my point. So getting into it, exercise, meal planning, and shout out your routines in the comments if you want to. Another thing that I'm really serious about when it comes to my routines is my Bible reading. So that is a priority for me. So I'm going to put Bible reading here, something that really soothes me, helps me in my day-to-day life. So I want to make sure it's at the top of my mind. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and write is, you guessed it, screen free time. and I'm being super sarcastic there because I know you didn't guess that. Every day I try to have screen-free time where I'm not looking at a camera, a phone, a computer screen, because first of all, I think it's just good for my eyes, just quite frankly. And then also because I want to make sure I'm talking to my husband, talking to my family, being present, not always just on my phone. I'm on my phone for work. I'm on my phone for social media. And I just need a daily break. Like every single day, I should be having some kind of screen free time. That's how I feel about it. The next thing is going to be social media. I know putting them next to each other sounds weird, but I try to show up every day on my stories. If I miss a day, it's really not a big deal, but it is something that's a part of my routine, and I want to keep it up so that I can continue to grow my business, grow my brand, and continue to connect with my community. So that's on the list. You guessed it with the bookworm theme. The next one is reading. Y'all, I love to read. Reading has always been a part of my life. It is not a part of my daily routine currently, but I'm working on it. Like, I really want it to be a part of my daily routine. I'm not there yet, but I'm hoping to be there really soon where I can really truly say that I'm reading for at least like 30 minutes every day. Reading soothes me, it brings me joy, and it's just nice to kind of like take your mind off of everyday life and instead of scrolling, reading. So I really enjoy reading and I want to make sure that I'm doing that at least on my train ride to work, right? Like I can fit that in. I can fit in a little reading. So I have reading there. And then I'm also going to put stretching because I know you're thinking, Chloe, you already put exercise, but I try to stretch before bed and oftentimes I forget and I just want to get back into the habit. So I'm going to put stretch routine. And that could be in the morning, in the evening, whenever, but I just need to stretch my body. If I feel so much better when I do it, and I want to make sure that's in there. All right. The next thing I want to put it probably should have been the first thing is taking my medication. So usually I take my meds every day. But every once in a while, I'm rushing, I get distracted, and I don't take them. And I forget a dose or whatever. So I just want to make sure that taking my meds are a regular part of my routine every single day. And so in thinking about medication, I'm going to say vitamins as well. Because we need meds, we need vitamins. Okay. So I think I have a nice amount of things on my list, but for you, that might be one-on-one time with your partner, one-on-one time with your children, one-on-one time for yourself. If you're always giving to others, you might also want to add that you want to make sure that you're um, making your bed every day. When you add that, I like that routine, right? Make my bed. You might have cleaning routines, right? That you want to make sure you're doing. So cleaning, I'm gonna put home organization. All right. So my goal for the routines for morning and evening is going to be for them to be a morning goal, an evening goal, and I want to kind of limit it to about 3 to 4 items on each side. And the reason I suggest this is because it is really challenging to make a new habit or even keep up with a habit that's a challenge for you. I don't want anyone to be overwhelmed. And when I say anyone, I mean me, okay? So I don't want to be overwhelmed. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So we're going to keep it pretty simple today. So I'm going to put morning here. And then evening over here. All right. And then for my morning routine, I'm going to put meds and vitamins because I need to do that every day. Oh, I think I'm going to use my highlighter again, y'all. I want to make sure that you all can still hear me. If y'all can
We
give me
can hear
like,
you.
okay, just wanted to make sure. And so here, I'm going to go ahead and put just a few
But
little.
Chloe, the screen needs to be like back to
Just
what it was.
awesome. Thanks for letting me know. I'm going to add our squiggles. I'm clearly a fan. I'm going to start with 3 on each side and then I'll add more if I need them. And then don't feel like you're abandoning your goals if we're not putting it in here right now. The goal is for the routine to become a habit, right? So we're working through routines so that they can become habits and they'll stick. A habit is a routine that's stuck. Okay. So don't worry. Do not worry if you're like, but we have a list of 20 things up here. How can we only pick three? It's because these things are going to become habits for us, and then we won't need them here anymore. My goal is for the meds and vitamins to no longer be on my routines list in like 2 months, y'all. I gotta do better. Okay. That this is not gonna be something that I need to be reminded of forever. It's gonna be a serious habit that I keep and I do better at keeping up with. So for me, the meds and vitamins is going to be morning and evening. And, of course, feel free to adjust. So for you, if it's morning, afternoon, or morning, early morning, late night, whatever it is for you, you can go ahead and put that. Next, for morning, I'm going to make it a serious goal to have some kind of daily exercise. Okay. Even if it's just like a 30-minute walk before I start my day, I think it'll really set my day off in a really nice way. And so on that same kind of path, I'm going to go ahead and add my meal planning to evening because I just do so much better when I think, okay, what are we going to eat tomorrow in preparation for the following day? Even if I don't give it a full week of prep, if I'm knowing what we eat tomorrow, we make really great choices and we're nourishing our bodies well. And so I think that's just a good thing to put on this side. Okay. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and put for the evening side screen free time because y'all know I need it. Okay. My eyes are begging for it. And I just need it for my mental health. I think screen free time is super important and I'm gonna commit to that. And then for my morning routine, one more thing I'm gonna add is my Bible reading because it really checks off the reading box, because the Bible is a book. And even though I want to do both, I got to start somewhere, right? So I'm going to start with Bible reading in the morning. And I think if I worked out for 30 minutes and then read my Bible for like 15 minutes, took my meds, we're cooking with oil here, right? Like we're already to a great start. Don't let me mess around and actually eat in the morning, okay? We're doing great. We're doing great. And then we can proceed with our day, work schedule, those kinds of things. I think this is a realistic morning and evening routine for me. Maybe for you, you want to add a couple more things. There's no shame in that. You can go ahead and add as much as you'd like. But for me, I'm going to take a few things that I really would have liked to add, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. And I'm going to put them here as a weekly routine. So the first thing I'm going to add to this side that I really was thinking about is home organization. So let me add my little header over here. And I'm going to put weekly routines. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put, I think I'm going to add my reading as a weekly routine because I know I can commit to reading at least a few chapters every week, maybe just not every single day. So reading, I know I can at least read on the train, like I said. And then social media as a weekly routine as well. Again, I don't want to overwhelm myself, so I'm going to keep it there for now. I'm a big three person. Like, I love things in threes. That's just something that I think I know I can remember three. After that, I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I'm trying. But I know I can remember three. So this is our routines section. I will always, always recommend if you get to this point and you're like, it feels empty, go ahead and add some stickers. I'm an add a sticker kind of girl. Like I just think you can always make it more pretty with some stickers. So feel free to add more stickers and do whatever you want to make this even more beautiful. Rongrong has lots of beautiful stickers. And if you're on this live, you are probably very, very familiar, as am I. And so we can always just kind of go in there, add more stickers, make it more beautiful. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not the type of person that can draw. I'm not a visual art girl. I'm not a physical art girl. So when I discovered these, I was like, oh, this is going to help me be consistent in my planner because I'm now going to want to use these stickers. Like I'm now going to want to get things going. And that's really how my creative planning journey started is because I wanted to be more consistent in my paper planner. And the way I did that was by using stickers and accessories and really just geeking out, honestly, with the stationery. That really got me going and helped me to be able to be more consistent. So if you're the type of person that wants to be more consistent and you love stationery, give it a try. So I think we talked about this umbrella, y'all, and I'm just trying to make it happen because I love it so much. I think I'm gonna save it for my weekly view though, because I think I'm all stickered out here. So now that I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and move into a weekly layout. So the weekly layout is going to help us to kind of picture what this looks like in a weekly routine, right? So we have each day and then we have each week. So I'm just gonna adjust things a little bit so you can see everything. So I'm setting up for April, all right? Because I believe in, let's just get into a fresh start. So I'm setting this up for April. And I went ahead and dated it for April. Now, y'all, I've been known to date things incorrectly. So if you notice something wrong, just let me know. I'm not perfect, all right? Just let me know and say, hey, Chloe, you are a little bit off. You don't have the correct dates. Because I've been known to mess it up a date from time to time. Let me know in the comments if you're feeling good about your few goals that you have for your routines, because I'm feeling really good about it. So let me know how you all feel about it in the comments. And now getting into this layout. So back to my washi box set. Okay, we love this. I'm going to use some of the book washi to get things going. So I'm going to go on this side. I love the book washi. I love that it's pink. I don't know about y'all, but I love a good pink spread. I love a pink theme. I'm a pink girl all the way down. So if you have pink in a sticker or washi tape, I'm game. And I really call this set a planner, a planner spread in a box. Okay, that is what I call this set because I feel like I could make a full planner spread with just this washi box set, and that was, I'm sure, the intention behind it. So you have all your supplies in one box set. So if you're traveling, you're on the go with your planning, you can totally put everything in one little box and have it ready to go. All right. So I have my washi at the top and at the bottom. I just like a little balance. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add some of my girls. Like I said before, I love my girls. So this is the PET tape that I just referred to. And I'm gonna add some of my girls at the bottom just to kind of give myself some beautiful stickers here. There we go. And add her here. I'm gonna do some overlap. Now, this collection is based on or themed from Little Women, and I am not familiar. So y'all gotta tell me what what TV show platform to watch Little Women on, because now I'm intrigued. I've fallen in love with these characters just from like using them in my planner, and now I need to be fully immersed in the world of Little Women. So if you're a fan, you are not alone, I'm sure. And now I have to join the fandom. It's just like anything else. Down the rabbit hole I go. Okay. And so now I'm gonna grab her. Now, this is a trick I like to do in my planner. If a girl, that's what I call them, my girls. If a girl is not the height I need her to be, I just cut the sticker. Okay. We don't gotta sweat the small stuff. We just cut it on down. I'm gonna cut it down to here so that she can be a little bit closer to the height I want her to be. So I have my Little Women here now. And now I'm just gonna grab a few more stickers. I'm trying to decide, do I want a bookshelf on the other side? So many pretty options. I think I want a house. It's between this house scene here because it's so cute and the bookshelf. I'm having a hard time. I think the only logical answer is both. But for now, and this is the cool thing about PET tape, y'all. You see, I'm just moving it around. I love that. I love that I can do that. Okay, I think I need to stop having analysis paralysis and pick something. So I'm gonna go with my bookshelf set. This is what happens when you have too many cute options. Don't know what to pick. All right. So now that I've made a mess of my PET tape, okay, when I walk out of my office, there's going to be like a trail of PET tape just stuck to my leg. Now that I've done that, I'm going to get into the routines part. So I'm going to keep my routines handy right here just so I can like easily reference. That's what I'll recommend. And I'm going to do writing first this time and then stickering. Okay, I know we talked about this. We're like, Chloe, you just said you like to sticker first. Yes, in a blank canvas. But when I got lines and stuff, I don't want to get into it too bad. So I'm going to go around my writing on this side. So we're going to start with the weekly routines. Okay, so for home organization, reading, and social media, I just want to put a few reminders for myself. So for Monday, I'm going to go ahead and put reminder. And I'm going to remind myself to check my social media schedule. Because imagine if I didn't check my schedule for today or I completely forgot. Not only would you all be disappointed, but I'd be disappointed. So that's super important. I got to make sure I'm checking my social media schedule and putting things in it. Now, I know what you're thinking, Chloe, where is your social media schedule? For this event, it's in my phone. It's in my Apple Calendar. And so what's cool about paper planning is that it's where I'm able to brainstorm and get ideas on paper and like make it pretty. And then I go in with my phone, okay? And I add things to my calendar because we have to have backup. We have to know when things are happening. And the other thing is your planner's not going to jump up and yell at you and remind you of things. So we have to have something with an alarm to remind us, okay? So we have check social media schedule. That's one thing on my weekly routines. And then reading. I'm going to put my reading reminder for Sunday because I think Sunday is just a really cute day to like grab your book, read, have a good time. So reminder. And I'm going to put read for self-care because that is what it's for me. And this layout, I just think it's perfect for routines because there are only a few lines and it's like super simple. So I love this layout for routines. And you can use this horizontal layout, a notebook, whatever it is that works for you. And then the next thing on my list is home organization. Now, y'all, I need help in this regard. If you are a home organization expert, please slide into my DMs. Let me know. Give me some tips and tricks, okay? I need to attend your workshop. So on Wednesdays, I think that's a good midweek point to be like, okay, are things getting crazy? Let's check the home organization. Let's check on the chores. Let's see what's happening. So I'm going to put these reminders throughout so I'm not forgetting and I can come back to them. Wednesday is also early enough in the week where I was like, if I was like, you know what, Chloe, it's not going to happen today, I could put it in for Thursday or Friday or Saturday, right? So I want to check in a little early in the week, kind of like midweek, to make sure things are going smoothly. And if they're not, then I have time to kind of fix things. And so now that we're done with our weekly routines, we're going to get into the daily ones, right? So for morning and evening, we have a few different things going. So I'm going to do just like a little line going down. And for that, I'm going to grab a little straight. Well, I'm going to use my planner. Oh, you know what? I know what I got. I have these affirmation cards from Rongrong. I'm going to use this for a straight edge. So multi-use, okay? These are the Rongrong's affirmation cards. And I'm just going to use it as a nice little straight edge down the middle here to make it easy for myself.
I love that when things could like be multi-purpose.
Yes,
So
work smarter, not harder. I love a straight edge, okay? That's the number one thing.
can't blame you there, Chloe. So we do have a question from Milan Perry,
Okay.
and she would like to know how much time do you allow for each routine? She says she typically allows for 1 hour between each task.
Ooh, that's a long time. Okay, so I guess it depends on what it is, right? So for my routine, meds and vitamins, like that should be like 5 minutes or less. Like we shouldn't be taking meds out. I mean, unless that is your situation, your circumstance, obviously. But for me personally, I'm taking like a pill in the morning, a pill at night. So it's like not that strenuous. For something like exercise, I'm taking at least 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, just to like get my blood going. I do it for mental health and physical health. So I'm taking at least 45 minutes for that routine. And then for my Bible reading, it's usually shorter because I'm one of those learners that I need to take information in smaller bits and then meditate on it. So I'm not reading my Bible for a whole hour, 2 hours straight. I'm usually taking that in 15 to 30-minute increments so I can retain whatever it is I'm reading and try to commit it to memory and all those great things. So I'm taking little chunks, okay, when it comes to those things in the morning. Now, the evening is where I might spend a little more time on my routines. And so, for example, meal planning. Like if I'm truly planning out my meals for the next day, I might be cutting up some vegetables. I might be meal planning could also just include cooking, right? Like getting things on the table for the dinner. That might take me, an hour. And then screen free time. I try to make free time from 9 until I go to bed. So usually I go to bed at 10 or 11. I wish it was earlier. It's not. But anywhere from 8 or 9 to 10 or 11, I just try to like literally, I put my phone on the charger and I close the drawer in my bedroom. And that's where it's at. It's like, all right, we're done for the night with my phone. And I try to keep it in a different room. So I hope that makes sense. Screen free time again is a block of time for me. Meal planning is about an hour for me because I'm really trying to get that done. And then sometimes meal planning even means like packing my lunch, okay? Which I hate doing, but it is what it is. And then meds and vitamins again is a quicker routine for me. I hope that answered the question. And then getting into this. So y'all already know the reason why I put these lines here is because I can break them up. I'm just creating a little bit more space for myself so that I can have AM, PM. Now, if you're, you just want to go straight down with a ruler, that's fine too. I took the longer route, but you can do that as well. And I'm going to speed right through here. I am not the kind of person that can talk and write at the same time. So I might get a little quiet, but that's just because I'm writing and I'm hoping that you're writing on your end as well. Go. And yes, I'm writing the same word over and over because for me, having to go in and write different words, I get distracted. I know.
I'm interested to know what kind of planner everyone using.
Oh, yes, let us know.
Let us know what kind of layout, what kind of planner size. Maybe I know you probably a lot of you have multiple. Pick like top 3 your favorite one. Let us know.
I would
Very
love to know.
interested. Yeah, I'm using the same one as Chloe, the dashboard layout.
So now I'm just gonna go like back down with each one, y'all. I know. But this is how I do it every week. This is how I do it. And the most fun thing is when I'm able to move on to something completely different. Like when I'm like, oh wow, like I've been exercising and I've been remembering. And even though I might miss a day from time to time because life is not perfect, it's still like a real part of my routine. And I don't have to like remind myself over and over to do it. That's the best part is being able to like move forward. So one of those routines for me is my weekly meetings. So I go to weekly meetings. And so there I'm a Bible student, so there I learn more. I don't have to remind myself, y'all. It's a part of my routine. Another thing, work. You don't have to remind yourself to go to work. It's your routine. You don't forget. Like even if you have a different schedule each week or you have different things going on, you're probably not going to forget about work because it's a part of your routine every single day. Another thing, planning. Y'all, I don't have to remember to plan. I love to plan. And even if it's just a simple to-do list in my planner or me checking off habits, I'm planning. I'm planning every single day. Every day is not an extensive, fun layout. Sometimes it's just, again, me checking things off, but I'm checking in with those goals every single day. So once it's a habit, you really don't have to write it. I put social media in my weekly plans, but honestly, I don't really forget. And that's probably thanks to, notifications and all that great stuff. I don't forget that like I do weekly YouTube videos or that I check in my stories every day or every other day. I don't forget about that because it's a part of my routine. It is sticking. Another thing, hygiene, right? Like I don't forget to brush my teeth because I've been brushing my teeth every day since I was a wee lad. So I don't need a reminder. But let's say you're trying like a new skincare routine or something fun like that, you may need to be reminded. And that's okay. It's important for us to make sure we honor where we are in our journey. And it's okay to say, I need daily reminders for this. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about daily reminders really quick. So when it comes to daily reminders, I use the Reminders app for Apple. And it reminds me, and it can be a little pesky, which is what I need because if I'm busy when it reminds me, I like that it's going to keep reminding me. And it also kind of has like a snooze like feature where if I say like remind me later, it will. The other thing I like to use is my Apple Calendar app, but I'll tell y'all what's even better than Apple Calendar, in my opinion, is Google Calendar. Google Calendar is amazing, in my opinion. And if you can integrate it with your Apple Calendar, that's great too. And then the final boss, okay, the final boss is Outlook. I don't know if you have Outlook through your job or you have a subscription or you have Microsoft, but Outlook, in my opinion, is a little more complicated than the other two, but I really do like Outlook. So let me know in the comments what you like to use if you use a digital calendar, because I really like to use Apple for my phone and then Outlook for work, but I wish they were integrated. Like I probably should look into that, because I really feel like at this point I need everything all in one. And I used to like to keep those things separate, but what's going on in my personal life is no doubt going to impact what's going on at home and vice versa. So at this point, I just think I should have them all in one app. But I've been a little bit apprehensive about putting personal things in my work app. So if they could just kind of both show up together, that would be great. So if y'all have tips and tricks for that, I am the teacher, but I am also the student. So I'm happy to hear those things as well. So now that I'm finishing up with this, I'm going to go ahead and move into my stickers. And something that I want to keep remind you all is that this is something I tell my students because I work at a college. I tell my students all the time that consistency is better than talent. And they don't really understand what that means when I first tell them oftentimes. But what I mean by consistency is more important than talent is that you can be very talented and really smart and good at what you do and produce really good work. But if you only do it ever so often, who will know about it? Right. And I work with art students. So I work with students who are graphic designers and fashion designers and artists and all kinds of different backgrounds and talents. And I tell them all the time, consistency is way more important than talent because without consistency, no one will ever see your work. So I just want to leave that with you all today as well, because I think sometimes we get wrapped up in not being good enough or imposter syndrome or am I good enough? Can I do this? And I'm here to tell you, you can. And that you being consistent is going to be what leads to future opportunities, not just talent. Talent is is wonderful, but you ever, wonder, oh, I wonder what happened to that person, or I wonder what happened if the consistency isn't there, you kind of forget about them, right? And so we want to be consistent and we want to be talented. We all have talents, but we want to add a little consistency to our talent. And that's going to be what gets us where we want to be. Okay. When it comes to our goals. So my challenge to you all is to make sure you back up your plans in some kind of app or reminder system. I know we all have, I don't even want to say the name because I think she might turn on in my house, but we all have some kind of device in our house, okay, that answers when you call their name. And when you do that, you can also ask them to remind you of things. So you can say, person, AI person. Again, I'm scared to say the name. You can say, AI person, remind me to do this if you're going to be home for that routine, right? Or if you're someone who travels and you're always out and about, you can always tune back in. Now, this is a lot of good space here. You could totally use this space to write routines, meal plans, exercise, what you're going to do. There are lots of different ideas I have for this space, but for me, I'm just going to add some stickers, y'all, because that's what I'm here for, right? Like, I love stickers. So I'm going to add stickers in this section just because that's what keeps me going and gets me excited to turn the page in my planner. So I'm adding stickers. Remember when I said you don't have to rip your washi and that Rongrong will do it for you? This is what I was talking about. These stickers are perfect. Now, I know we're running a little bit close. So if you all have questions, you can start putting them in the chat. I'm happy to answer questions that you all have. And I'd love to know if you're excited about your routine. Like if that's going well, I'd love to hear more about your routines. I'm so excited that you all joined me today. I think that being able to get together and take time for you is super important. And to be around people, even if it's just virtually, that also have similar goals and interests is always super motivating. So thank you all for joining me. So now that I'm laying my stickers down, there's just no wrong way to plan, y'all. Like, it doesn't matter what your layout looks like. It is the right layout, okay? I just want to put that out there. And I love how this turned out. Let me know what y'all think about it. I haven't had a planner spread this full in a while, and I think it's because I was overthinking. So now we got our routines, okay? And then I want to encourage you all to kind of fill out your habit tracker as well if you're using this planner or any planner with a habit tracker, or you can create a habit tracker. Totally up to you. I forgot about my umbrella again. Okay, this is my umbrella's time to shine, y'all. I keep putting her on the back burner, and this is my favorite little sticker in this set. So I'm going to put my umbrella there. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and add a few habits here. So meds and vitamins, or just meds, I'll know about vitamins, is going to be my first one. My second one is going to be exercise, because I want to track that. And my third one is going to be screen-free time. Because I want to track those, okay? And then here on my priorities are going to be, and I like to get a little poetic with these, okay? My priorities are going to be to nourish my body, because I am not myself when I'm hungry, okay? And I want to put good things in my body, so I want to remind myself to do that. My next thing is to remember to set timers and reminders, because I often try to rely on my own brain, and I'm only one person, right? So I need some help. And then my third thing is going to be to prioritize time to plan. So you can set a reminder to plan. You can totally do that. You want to look, we buy all this stuff, right? We get stickers, we get washi, we get all the fun things, and then we don't use them. And that's like such a waste. We want to use them. We want to be consistent. We love our stationery. We want to be able to use it. So I recommend that 100%. And then what I love about this layout is that now you have all this space for your weekly to-do. So when I would personally usually kind of leave this blank unless there are things at the forefront of my mind, and then kind of go in and fill it out throughout the week, whether that be work tasks, personal things, errands. I love that we have this space here to just like make a nice running weekly to-do list. And then I can check them off, put them in my calendar, whatever it is that works for me. I think that would be a really nice way to kind of keep up in my planner. So now that I have those, I'm going to go ahead and put them back in my planner. Now I'm going to tell y'all a quick little secret. I am not a monthly planner girly, okay? And what I mean by that is I will do a monthly spread because, you know, I'm a planner girl, I'm a planner person. So I'm going to do it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. It is not my favorite. But I always have a really strong, good monthly calendar in my iPhone. Like, I'm really good at keeping up with that part. What's really nice about this planner is that you also have pages in between. So like you could fill this whole area up with routines on this side, and then you could turn around and you could have even more space in between. Okay, so if you want to set up your month, set up your weeks, and get that going, you totally can do that. But I'd love to know in the comments if you all are feeling good about these. Again, to reiterate some little talking points or takeaway points, we went ahead and brainstormed for our routines and thought about all the things we'd love to add in our day-to-day routine. Then we broke down some of the things that we'd like to do daily in the morning and or in the evening. And then we also went ahead and talked about some of the things we'd like to make a part of our weekly routine. A little tip and trick is if you struggle with one thing, flip it. So, like, example, if I wake up in the morning and exercise is just not working for me in the morning, maybe now I'm going to do meal planning in the morning just to kind of like do something, right? Check something off. So, in that case, it would give me motivation if I'm looking at my habit tracker and maybe I didn't exercise in the morning but I did a little screen free time, right? Because that's what I needed. Or maybe I didn't do my screen free time at night, but I went ahead and did my social media schedule for the week. I got that out the way. Be okay with just being checking something off. So assess your mood, see what's best for you, and check off something. I'm going to try to read some comments. And Rongrong and Sailor and Jessica, you can let me know if I'm good on time.
Yeah, you're on time, so you're doing great. If you want, I have some questions from earlier. So Milan wanted to know if she said, I do have every Friday routine of creating planning. Um, so do you have like well, you said you plan every day, right, Chloe? Oh, Chloe, you're muted.
Every 10 minutes I get muted. That's weird. Okay, thank you. So I do have a weekly planning routine as well as a daily one. So every day I'm checking something off, right? I might not be like heavy into writing in my planner every single day, but my big planning day where I'm like mapping things out, getting excited and stickering, that's Sunday for me. So it's just a nice reset and get a start to the week. Sometimes it's Saturday, like sometimes I treat myself to a coffee at a local coffee shop and I take my planner and all my stickers and I plan, and sometimes I'm there hoping that someone else will be doing the same thing and they're not. But it's nice to be able to like bring my stickers to a coffee shop and play them without any interruptions. So that's fun.
Yeah, so now that we've kind of like are towards the end of the workshop, we're having it open now for Q&A with Chloe. So just a friendly reminder that if you want to unmute yourself to say something, please be sure to use the raise your hand function, and it's a little heart react button. You click on that and then you'll have like the raise your hand here, and then you can unmute yourself to ask your question. And you don't even have to ask a question, just like let us know your biggest takeaway from the workshop, or if you just want to come in and say hello and thank us or thank Chloe for her time. So anything like that, anything that you want.
Comments.
I see
Hi,
one. Oh, so sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
I'm so sorry. I wanted to make like a brief comment. This because I joined a little late, so I'm really sorry, Chloe. The little bit that I got, I found it very useful because with routines, right, we want to add things that first of all, kind of evaluate what's working, what's not working, and add those things, like tweak it to make it work for you. But I am interested in catching the first part of this workshop. So will it be on the YouTube channel to catch later, the replay?
Yes, it will be available for replay. So definitely tune in. Comment team replay when you're over there. We'll definitely have that up on Rongrong's channel.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for all the tips.
No problem. While we're waiting for more questions, I'm just going to do like a shoop to kind of give you another view here. And I see Milan has her hand up.
Hi, Chloe. Thank you so much for coming in tonight and showing us your lovely work. So when you're planning and you take everything to the coffee shop, do you, I'm sorry, I saw a note. Do you just take maybe one set of pet tapes with you or one sticker book? I mean, you don't take like 5 or 6 of them out, do you?
No, so honestly, it is tempting with the sticker books because they don't take up a whole lot of space in like my planner bag. Like it's super easy to take like 5 of these bad boys. But as far as the PET tapes are concerned, I'll just take like maybe a couple rolls or I'll cut them off because you know that's one of the perks to a PET tape is you can cut off a strip, put it in the back of your sticker book, and then be able to just kind of like take that on the go. Or if you have a PET tape, any kind of storage for that, you can kind of like cut that off, take it on the go. So really for me, I like to kind of have like 1 to 2 themes with me, if that makes sense. So like, because I like to switch it up. I've also seen folks just use one sticker book the entire month as well. So they're like, this month, my theme is Coffee Queen, and that's what I'm going to see the whole month. But then I have other folks who are like, I want to see something different and fresh every week. So this week is going to be Bookworm. Next week is going to be Coffee Queen. The week after that, I'm going to use my PT floral tapes, right? Like it's okay to kind of switch it up. But when I'm going to the coffee shop, I'm usually taking maybe 2 sticker books, a couple PET tapes, and the washi box set. I mean, look, when I say it's a planner spread in a box, I'm not joking. Like this kind of changed the game for me because even though the box might look a little cumbersome for a bag, you just need the 1 box or 2 boxes tops. So that's been kind of nice. But in the past, I've just done maybe 2 sticker books, two PET tapes, and then of course my pens, my maybe a couple highlighters. But I am looking to see like what colors are in this week's book. I'm not bringing my whole pen stash. I'm just taking a couple out to kind of match whatever that spread is.
Okay, I'm sorry. And one more thing. So when you're doing it that way, so basically if you take out, let's say 2 books, so the creativity comes from whatever you're choosing from the book, however you choose to design your setup, right?
Yeah, I'm not usually mixing and matching unless I'm doing a dated using the time to date sticker book. That's like my favorite. I know it sounds lame, like what the time to date, but if I'm using undated, I need date stickers sometimes. So unless I'm using that and then also a theme, I'm using one or the other. And I've done lots of themed planner pages with just florals too. Like I love Rongrong's floral PT tapes. So sometimes I don't have words or boxes or any of that stuff. It's just like a nice floral border around the outside or something like that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
We have Dina.
Deanna?
Yes, Diana. Can you unmute?
Deanna, your hand's up. I don't know if you intended, but if not, you could just put your hand down.
Am I muted?
Yes, you're muted
You're
now.
good
Okay.
now.
Thanks for having us, everyone. Rongrong, I love your creations.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that sometimes it is hard because I love so many stickers. So, Chloe, how do you manage the decorative aesthetic with still being functional? Because with the coordinating sticker books and the pet tape, I want to use kind of everything all at once. And then sometimes it's not as much room to write. Um, So my friends tease me that my planner kind of is more like an adult coloring book. It's not a lot of plans. I want to incorporate more plans. So I really enjoyed your aspect with the routine, and then customizing it. So for me, it's the bedtime routine that's very important to set me up for success for the next day. So how do you manage aesthetics and functionality?
That's a good question. So I kind of wanted to show both ways with my workshop. So that's why in the first spread, I did stickers first. And then in the second spread, I did writing first because I know everyone's brain works differently. One key tip for me, if you have a planner heavy, a sticker heavy, or I should say, if you need a lot of room for plans, but you know you want to use stickers, is try a border approach. So I'm going to try to do a PET tape example and like put it on my Instagram. But with the border approach, you're just putting, let me see if I can find a PET tape. You kind of lay the stickers that you want around the border and then you cut around that border. So especially if you're using disc bound, it's super easy to show you. This is just like a little tip and trick. So this is just like a dot grid page, right? But you take your sticker and you kind of put it on the border right? And then you cut there. And so you kind of like place them all along here and then cut. And of course, it has to be like a cute floral or something that doesn't look funny when you cut it off. Um, but it's a way to kind of like still use your stuff, but still have space if you struggle with having enough space still. I also recommend, if you just really want to use those stickers, but your planner spread is already kind of packed, go ahead and just make a nice, fun collage, right? Like a page that's really just for you and just for fun, and you don't have any functionality to it, and you just love looking at it every single day. And you just love flipping through it, kind of like a dashboard, right? Like something fun in your planner. And then you can still write in there, but now you have a few pages to flip through that you just like looking at every week.
Okay, I definitely tried that. I like the idea of the dashboard. So maybe I'll do like a dashboard with a border because I just love the artwork. And that's like kind of what brings me joy and placing this there. Everything coordinates, even though it's different steps, but you could find it if you have a good collection in front of you. So thanks for hosting tonight. And I look forward to the next event. Hopefully it's soon.
All right. Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was more of a comment earlier from Michelle. She says, I feel like my daily routine is getting much better. I don't pack my schedule, which I think is really important as well. I list my top 3 goals, and if I have time for 2 or 3 more, then I add them. I have felt much more productive with less pressure.
That's really good. I'm glad that's working for you. And that's why for this routine consistency workshop, I really wanted to talk about like we have this big idea of like like I gotta do that every day. Wow, I'm scared. Like sometimes there's a little fear mixed in there, at least for me. So when you condense it down and you're like, okay, I can commit to this one little thing every day and I know it's gonna bring me joy to accomplish it. It's kind of like a snowball. Like once you get to doing that one thing consistently, it makes you want to do more. I love all the sticker heavy folks in the chat. You're amongst friends. We love stickers. We love the artwork. I love that I don't have to paint it myself. I'm like, great, someone else is doing the artwork, and I just get to put it in my planner and get that immediate satisfaction. I love it. And then also one of the things that just kind of really helped me to become more consistent in showing up is making it fun, right? So like for example, I'm already setting up some spring dates with my friends for my daily exercise and walking together because I mean, I could walk alone every day and that might be cool for a while, but then it might get a little stale. So now I have a couple walking partners lined up. My mom's gonna walk with me. Hopefully I can get my best friend to walk with me. And so I have some folks already kind of lined up and then I'm making my husband walk with me too a couple days. So that's kind of helping me think about ways to keep things fresh so that I don't get bored in my consistency.
This one was just another comment from Katrina earlier, and she said that she thought your spread was absolutely beautiful. And she says, I like the routines list, and it is much prettier than I have. So I am definitely changing it up. And she says, thank you.
Thank you. I had a lot of help, okay, with these stickers. So it made it easy for me. But I appreciate it so much. And always feel free. You can make a routines page every week if you want with like dot grid paper or blank paper. Keep it fun.
I have a question for you, Chloe. I wrote this one down previously. So what strategies help you maintain consistency in your work or personal projects?
Reflecting on my why is really important because I'm a person at the end of the day, I'm not a robot. And so I have to think about why I want to do things and why it's still important to me. And then sometimes that means I no longer want to do it. Like, why am I forcing myself to do something I don't want to do? Or doesn't still align with my goals and my values. So I really enjoy thinking about my why. And so when I'm writing out routines or thinking about what the next goal or step is, that kind of helps me keep going. And then also celebrating my wins and my successes. So, like, let's say at the end of the week, okay, let's say I did not do screen free time every day. I only did screen free time 4 times. Am I going to be mad at myself? No, I'm going to celebrate myself. I did it 4 times this week. And then last week, maybe I didn't do it any. So the fact that I was able to keep up with a routine a few days and I was what is the word? Not consistent, not persistent. It's another istant. But the fact that I was, I guess, persistent in doing it, even though I missed a day or two in the middle, I think that's something worth celebrating. And I think as people, we as people that want to be productive, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do things perfectly. And productivity and perfection, they're not the same. So, like, just because you're not perfect at something doesn't mean you can't do a great job. So that's something that I try to keep in mind when it comes to consistency. I think I see something in the chat. Chloe, do you have a reset day during the week or a month? As a content creator, you're busy. I know you need a day to get creative juices flowing. Also, how do you get your creative juices flowing? So as far as a reset day, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've been working at my job for almost 8 years now, so I do take off days. So I just have days in the middle of the week. I don't even tell anybody. It's a secret. I don't tell anyone. My husband don't even know till he come home, okay? I don't tell anyone. I'm like, I'm off today and no one's gonna know but me and the Lord, okay? No one's gonna know. And so I do have days kind of built in my calendar that I take off vacation. I'm also at a point where I've been at my job so long that if I don't use my vacation, I'll start losing them. You know, they accrue, but then they also get dropped off if you don't use them. So I'm very intentional about making sure I take my time. And so at first it wasn't that way. When I first started all of this, I didn't have vacation time. Like it just didn't accrue well for me. And I was burning out, honestly. But I've been blessed to now have time that I can take off. So I do take off time. I had time off 2 weeks ago. I had a few days, and then next week I'm gonna have a few days. So each month I have at least a couple vacation days that I take. And then as far as a reset day, honestly, or like a day off, Saturdays are usually like my day off. Like I really don't. I would like to say I clean or I do something productive. I don't. Like Saturday is my day. Okay. Me and my husband, we might go out, we might hang out. I might hang out with friends. I might just stay home and talk to no one all day. But Saturday, I'm not really doing anything productive. And then Sunday, I go to worship and then I come home usually and I'm having a nice gap of my Sunday that I'm not doing anything until it's time to film. So Alicia says, thank you for reminding us to stop scrolling. No problem. If y'all follow me on Instagram, and please do at Poetry Plans, I tell folks every week, go plan for the week. Stop scrolling. Like, we watching the planners and we're getting inspo, but it has to stop, right? Like, we don't need to watch 100 planner videos to go plan. Like, maybe one or two. Then go do it. Go do the things. So I like to remind you all. Milan says, I'm telling Milan, do not tell anyone about my days off, please. It's my one thing. My mom has my location now, so she might start knowing. She might be aware. Do you create spreads for other purposes other than planning? Y'all, last year I had a fun planner. It was just for fun. I had no other reason. It was like I put stickers in here. I might write, I might not. I've experimented with new inks and markers. And I went in there like, you know how you give a little kid a notebook or a coloring book and they just go crazy? They don't care what it looks like. They just go crazy. And they're just all outside the lines. That's my favorite part of childhood is like watching my nieces and nephews just be like, I don't care what this looks like. I'm having fun. That's what I do in my fun planner. So I used to have a fun planner and I definitely have done spreads just for the fun of it because it's what I enjoy.
So
Chloe,
if you all just, oh, go ahead,
I
Rongrong.
have a
Sorry.
question for you. When do you, so like you plan every day? How about Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, I know, crazy. I actually do plan on Saturday and sometimes Sunday. So I oftentimes write in my planner in the morning on Saturday. So although I like to be off work, I can't sleep in anymore. I think it's just you get to a point when you wake up every morning for years and years that you don't sleep in on the weekends. So I no longer sleep in really. So I'm still up at least by 8 a.m. on Saturdays. And so I get up and I usually just do a quick little checklist. And sometimes it's in my phone. But I do like a quick little checklist of things that have to get done. It might be going to the post office, stopping by the bank, getting a car wash, grocery store run. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't grocery shop. I do order pickup. I don't have the bandwidth. I can't do everything, right? I don't do grocery shopping. I do order pickup for the most part, and sometimes I order HelloFresh, so I don't even do that. But I try to do something convenient, and for me, food has to be the convenient thing because it's so important. So I'm like, I can't chance the vegetables and the fruits and the good grains. I can't chance it. So I know if I order it and somebody's grabbing it for me in the grocery store, that I'll get it. So that's usually my Saturday morning prep is checking some things off for the weekend and then of course, just looking over my day, right? Like this
Yeah.
Saturday, unfortunately, I have a funeral. I'm not super close. I wasn't super close to the person that died, but I'm close to their family and I want to support. So I put that in my planner. Like, any little thing that I feel like I need to make sure I remember, I'm
Yeah.
putting down and I'll kind of like gloss over it. Saturday and Sunday is more of a gloss day than a plan day, though, to be honest.
Mhm.
And then Sunday is a sticker day. Sunday is like we're
Yeah.
decorating, like we're going crazy. We're enjoying all the stickers and the fun stuff.
Oh, that's so
Chloe,
cool.
do you ever feel like your life at some points is like too busy to even write it down in your planner? Like too busy to plan?
That's a good question. On vacation, I don't really plan on vacation. On vacation, I'm like a new person. I'm like, who is she? On vacation, I have to be reminded to get content. My mom will give me my phone and be like, you need to film this. And I'm like, I don't want to. Like on vacation, I'm not me. I'm not Chloe. I'm not Chloe G Plans. I just want to like just be. Like just leave me be. I bring a book with me everywhere on vacation. When I'm not doing anything, I'm reading. People are messaging me, "How was your trip?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot. I don't even have footage. I don't even have proof that I went." Like I am so not me on vacation. I am not planning usually. I'm just enjoying myself. And I still bring a planner, y'all, because I'm obsessed. But I don't usually use it on vacation. But I might take a few pics of it like with coffee or something. But I am not planning usually on vacation. But in my job and what I do, I work in social work and I work at a college, and planning is just integrated in my life. And it really started with me not wanting to forget things. I first started creative planning because I was planning my wedding and I was looking for a job at the same time. And I'm sure you can imagine that is very stressful. We didn't have a huge wedding, but we had around 200 guests. So there was a lot of things to be moved around. And that's how I started creative planning with my planner. I saw a planner at Michael's and I was like, this comes with a sticker book. That's kind of cool. Like, what is this about? And so I just started creative planning that way. And I really feel like it sounds like stickers are not a big, like it's stickers, but like, no, that is what kept me coming back to the planner was, oh, well, I'm going to decorate a little and then I'm going to get serious and I'm going to decorate again. Like it kind of that sandwich method of like having fun and making that part of my brain tingle really helped me. And I've always been a stationery person. My grandmother used to work at the post office, and she would wait until the stationery went on clearance and bring it home for me. And I just geek out over like letter kits and envelopes and all those kinds of things. So I've always been really excited about stationery. And so it's not difficult for me to plan because again, it's part of my routine already. It doesn't feel like a hassle. And if it feels like a hassle or a chore, maybe change the method. Maybe you're more into digital planning and just want to put things in your calendar. Or maybe you don't want to plan creatively, but you want to journal creatively because that feels less chaotic. Like it's okay to switch things around and see what works for you, but planning has always been a part of my life, whether creatively or otherwise, and I've just really enjoyed being able to connect with others through that and show up for myself. Like I think is really important. And that doesn't have to be about work or anything super productive. That could be about rest. That could be about spending time with your loved ones. Like that could be showing up for yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people in the chat talk about like they want a fun planner too, just to decorate, just to be creative, doesn't have to fill with all the plan.
Yes.
It's like
Especially
yeah, self-escape planner. Be a kid planner.
Oh, and don't forget with your bookworm stickers, you can decorate the inside of your book because I'm
Yeah,
doing that.
that's
I'm decorating the
oh,
inside of my book covers with my
that's
bookworms.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think a lot of people have been using the bookworm decorate their Kindle, uh, their cover stuff too.
Oh, I love now
Yeah.
you're giving me ideas, wrong. You're gonna have me doing that over the
Uh,
weekend.
I can't wait to see you have all the stickers.
Yes. Yes. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to decorate my Kindle cover for sure. That's my next. Y'all look out for that reel.
Put on the planner.
Literally stickers everywhere. Stickers on Kindle covers, stickers on tumblers, bookmarks, you name it. There's a sticker on there.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you see Michelle's comment, Chloe?
Yes, Michelle says, I decorate spreads for my Bible study and school notes. Makes it more fun. Yes, I agree 100%. That helps me like write notes is that like if I have like something fun on the page and pretty. And then sometimes I even do it for my work notes. Don't tell my job, but like I'll be in the back with stickers. And it keeps me engaged because otherwise I'm just kind of like, doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm trailing off. I'm not paying attention. So if I have a little couple of stickers, that's my business, and I'll just kind of sticker while I'm listening. And same thing for Bible study or any of my Bible-based meetings. I'm totally like, by that time in the evening, my Bible study is at 7 p.m. By that time, being quiet after work, after a long day, after yapping all day, I'm like somewhere else. So I say a little prayer and then I pull my little stuff out, and it's nobody else's business. I'm literally in there with my planner and maybe a few fun pens or something, and that really kind of helps me keep engaged. And it kind of helps whether it's studying or reading or whatever helps keeps things going. And my book tracker, I read because I want to add stuff to my book tracker. Like whatever little motivation you need in adult life, whatever joy you can find, little pocket of joy when it comes to these day-to-day routines to make it fun and exciting, I say go for it.
So Aguayo Michelle, I'm assuming Aguayo is your last name, Michelle. She said, when I started, I'm going to be honest, I was lost. But watching you do this step by step is great because it gives me ideas. As a mother of toddlers, it's hard to find time or be consistent. So all the tips you have mentioned have helped me so much. And thank you so much, Chloe and Rongrong, for making it fun, and everyone else who is in the planning journey.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. I'm glad this was helpful. Remember, you have toddlers, so I'm going to say, remember to take a little time for yourself because they're so demanding. Like toddlers are they're like, it's all about me. I'm the only person that's important in this entire world. It's just about me. But try to fill your cup as well, even if that's just like before they wake up, a few minutes to yourself with like coffee or tea or something. Like you deserve time to yourself, even if it's just like a moment. I know you probably don't get a lot of those moments, but you deserve that time and to be able to do things you enjoy. And I've heard a lot of moms specifically say, oh, now that I have my mom, I don't plan anymore. I don't use stickers anymore. I don't. And I'm like, you deserve that more than ever now. And I know it's not always practical to do it maybe every week, but try to fit it in. Try to fit in the things you love because when they see you doing the things you love, it also is a good example for them too. So I love that this was helpful and I hope it can help you to be consistent, but also remember to have fun because I mean, life is hard. We don't need to make it harder. Like we got to find the happiness and the fun where we can.
I have a maybe like a personal question for you, Chloe. So, it sounds like planning has been very consistent in your life and therefore is very much a part of your life. So, what do you feel like planning and having it consistent throughout your life, where has it gotten you? Like what kind of things have you accomplished through planning and consistency that you're proud of?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing I can think of is what the first thing that comes to mind is earning my bachelor's degree. I'm a first generation college graduate, and so I was the first person in my family to get a bachelor's. And so that meant a whole lot to me because there were days where I just didn't want to go. I commuted for 2 years and I was on campus for 2 years. And commuting from the south suburbs of Chicago all the way downtown in snowstorms the big snowstorm in Chicago in 2011 was my freshman year of high school. Like it wasn't easy. Okay. There were days. Oh, and this is before remote learning was like as popular. So there wasn't a teacher saying like, we're going to jump on Zoom. Like, nah, like we were there in person and it was really hard. Like I tear up thinking about it. It was hard. I had a really hard time. And unfortunately I went to a high school that didn't fully prepare me for college. So I was a straight A student in high school and I went to college and I was like, oh, I'm not the smartest person here. Like I gotta step it up. I gotta learn some things. I gotta bridge this gap. I would be in class Googling terms that my professor used because I wasn't familiar with all the vocabulary. And it was very difficult for me. It was not easy, but I kept showing up. There would be classes where I was not mentally even there, but I was physically there. So I got my points for attendance. Like I showed up when I didn't want to show up. And I did not expect a sacrifice to not feel like one. And that's something I tell my students all the time. You want to say you're sacrificing, but you don't want it to feel like one. Sacrifices don't feel good all the time. They feel good at the end when we celebrate, But I'm sure when Rongrong's up all night working on a release or fixing a bug on her website, that doesn't feel good. Like, just to be honest, I don't want to speak for her, but like, it's not fun when you have to make a sacrifice. But what is fun is working through a challenge, seeing the end result, and being able to come out of it. And so that's something that I tell my students all the time. I'm like, you don't want this sacrifice to feel like one, and it does. And that's just going to keep making you stronger and stronger and help you to be able to get to a place where maybe you're not working as hard. And so now that I'm no longer in school, I work hard, but I really feel like earning my degree helped me get to a place where I could do what I love, where I am able to, earn an income that is, that funds my hobbies and my interests and my bills and things like that. And it also has really, really helped me to be able to grow my social media. What I do full time is joyful, but what I do online is my passion. It sounds so crazy. I love stationery. I love connecting with other people who do. I love when somebody makes a planner that's a sticker of a planner that I can put in my planner. Like, it sounds so silly, but like, I love it. I love a planner theme. I love all the things and the smell of the sticker book when I flip through. Like, and if you're in this call, you probably feel the same way. I love those things. So I just want to, truly encourage you all to like keep going for it. I reached a little over 9,000 followers this year. I really want to reach 10,000 before next year on Instagram. I'm almost at 10,000 followers on YouTube. That is a big deal to me. And I think that's just from showing up, even when I don't feel like it. Do you know how many times I edited and there's like a bug in the editing system and it encrypted my video wrong and I uploaded it and the audio was off? So I had to start over. Like, that's a sacrifice. I can think of so many hiccups, but the hiccups don't outweigh the success. And so I'm always having to look at, all right, this is hard. I don't like it. I'll come back to it tomorrow. I'm going to show up again because even though it didn't work out today, maybe it'll work out tomorrow. So that's something that I'm really serious about, is showing up even when I don't feel like it. And that doesn't mean to burn out or run yourself ragged, or, you know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that sometimes a sacrifice is going to feel like one. And that's when you show up, and show up as you. Like, don't try to just show up and be your best self, and whatever your best is that day. Because today my best was not making my coffee and packing my lunch. I just got there. Just got I showed up. I showed up in my little work shirt, and I slicked my hair down and I cleaned my glasses real good. And I put on a little lip gloss and I was there, but I did not prepare in the way that I usually like to for work today. I couldn't find my laptop charger for my work charger, so I had to bring my personal laptop to work. You know what I mean? Like, those are the little things that nobody knew about. Like, I got to work, nobody cared that I didn't, bring my work laptop. They were just like, "You here to work? Cool, great." Like, nobody cared. But you just got to keep showing up even when you really, may not want to that day. And know the difference between, all right, I need to rest now, and today's the kind of day I got to push through, and I'm going to rest tomorrow. So I would just say, keep showing up. And my accomplishments, and more than anything, is being able to do the things that I love, to afford time with my family, to afford time with my friends, to afford self-care things. And that doesn't have to be, that could be a massage, that could be being able to afford health insurance these days, like whatever it is that I need for myself. It's been really nice to be able to do those things. And that's because of the work that I put in.
That was so beautiful, very inspiring. Thank you for being very vulnerable with us as well and sharing so much about yourself. It really does help inspire myself, and I'm sure many of us here that are watching today. So I really, really, really thank you for joining us and being here today. And yeah, so I think we are kind of at the end here. So if anyone wants to just say one last final thing, or if you just any last final questions before we say goodbye for today? I did see a comment asking for the next workshop. We do have something in the works in a couple more weeks in April. We do hope that this is a monthly thing. So I am working on April and May workshop, and I hope it'll be really, really fun for you all. And yeah.
Yeah,
We
so
have
for April, we should have Michelle come, and then May, but I will be in China from May to July. So I'm taking a 2 months vacation to visit my parents, and but I think Jess will be the one woman handle all. So she'll be the superwoman. And I just want to say how grateful I am to be in this community with you all. I think it's just as a woman, we just have to do way more than other. Like, so no matter if you're single, married, or a mom, or single mom, or grandma, like we have been through a lot. So just knowing how much how powerful you are, and with a little sticker and planning, we can get through anything. And just believe yourself, or trust yourself, and ask for help if needed. So I just want to see that. So I this is really fun, and I committed to do every month. If I'm able to find the speaker, like amazing speaker like Chloe, to join me every month, I will do this. So I hope you will join me and us on a monthly basis as well. So yeah,
This was
I
wonderful. Thank you all so
yeah.
much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
Chloe. Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
Rongrong.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
And if you want to support Chloe, you can follow her on Instagram, and tell all your planner friends to follow her, so we can help her reach the big goal.
Yes, help me reach
Let's
10K in 2025.
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's
Awesome.
do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. I will post the replay tomorrow or Friday. And then I will send you all emails so you can watch the replay in the beginning for the beginning part. Thank you, everyone. Truly
Thank you,
grateful.
everyone. Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.